The Digital Photography Cafe show is brought to you by Focus Pyramid, the autofocus lens calibration tool for your camera.
Welcome to the Digital Photography Cafe show. Join hosts Trevor Current and Joseph Cristina as they serve up the hottest photography news and commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. This is episode 221. I'm Joseph Cristina here with my co-host Trevor Current. How's it going, Trev?
It's going great. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. Nice and hot and toasty down
Always.
here. But
it's the way it should be. Summer.
That's
You know what? We'll be complaining in the wintertime.
You will be complaining in the wintertime.
I will not. Yeah, you'll be
That will
enjoying the nice 70-degree weather in December.
Yes, exactly. So, but anyways, jumping right into it, we're going to try keeping these shows as short as possible. Rumors, more rumors, Sony rumors. Who would have knew? Who would have guessed? Who would have thunk it? Yeah. Right.
Every week there's a Sony something, a Sony rumor or something.
They're on it. These people are like, they're just working, right?
Yeah.
They're like a three-legged cat in a sandbox. They're just working it.
Yeah, for sure. So, so this week the rumored A99, the Alpha, the DSLR. So it's the next iteration, and their rumor has it of over 40 megapixel sensor.
Right.
Yeah, really cool. Possibly more than 400 autofocus points.
Yeah, I saw some folks were saying up to like 500 AF spots. What the heck do you do with all that? You know,
I have
no
idea.
We have Canon that they can't get it straight. They have like 4 autofocus spots. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but they have next to nothing, and now they have 500. Let's say it's like what is going on? Is someone not telling the truth here, or what is going on? Why? But yeah, so 40 megapixels or right thereabouts, maybe 42, 44, somewhere on there. Which is nice. You got 4K video is what they're saying.
Yep.
And that same big DSLR type body, so it's still a big camera with all of those AF points. I love autofocus. Autofocus needs to work. The more AF points you have and the more cross-type AF points you have, even better. Now, what is kind of interesting here is it is not the medium format that we were predicting to possibly come out right around Photokina time, but we still have no word on it one way or another. But we'll see what ends up happening. Maybe it's after, but I don't think it's that far in the future. We're going to see Sony with a medium format camera for sure, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I would say probably in the very short time period, we're going to hear more on the official specs of this A99. So this is interesting. I mean, all those auto AF points, 4K video, obviously they're probably focusing this camera, this DSLR, more in that video frame, that video space. So,
right.
You've got all those AF points. I mean, it's great for tracking, right? So,
yeah, facial tracking. Absolutely. Yep. And we love that, especially if you're going to be vlogging. This might be the camera for you. So we'll see what ends up happening. Once again, It's just a rumor. We'll see when it comes out. Next, on the side of Nikon, we haven't been talking about Nikon very much. They've kind of been really light on news, and they just said that there's a new lens out there that's a 105 and it's a 1.4, so it's a 105 millimeter and it's a 1.4, so it's really wide, gets a ton of light. I'm sure the backgrounds would just be milky, just beautiful buttery backgrounds, right? They're saying that it is, obviously it's a prime piece of glass, they're saying that it is going to be the absolute best portrait lens ever created. Now, when I saw the price here, bro, never mind the specs. When I saw the price, I'm like, well, that damn well better be the best.
Yeah.
$2,200, which, well, there's plenty of glass out there that's that much, but, just for a single prime, a 105, like a portrait lens, I guess you have Canon on the side of the, 1.2 Canon. Those things are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
So, maybe something in kin of that. So, but the
I
specs on it's pretty good.
guess it's in the ballpark of that high-end professional lens. So, you know, it's, it is what it is. If you have the need for it, obviously you're not just going to willy-nilly go hit up Amazon and just buy it. You're going to try and get your hands on one. You're going to rent one. You're going to test it out. See how it works for your needs before you go dump $2,200 for sure.
Yeah.
But they are saying that it's going to be a beautiful lens. So great addition to the line for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll rent one in and take a look at it. That's always cool to be able to play with those. I know I played with the Canon, the 1.2 way back when. That thing is just unfreaking believable. But if your focus is off just by a hair, you lost the shot.
You lost
because
it, yeah.
you have
that
such
shallow,
a thin, shallow depth of field. So, anyways, moving on. Lightroom. A lot of us use Lightroom. But now Lightroom is now on your Apple TV. Adobe made an announcement about this, which was kind of interesting, right? Sitting back. It's that idea of Adobe saying, you know what, let's go ahead and not only are you going to take your photos and be able to manipulate your photos and maybe upload them into the cloud and maybe do this, that, and the other thing. Well, now you could just sit on your couch and kind of
and view your photos.
Exactly, and view your files. So
this is interesting. If you are in the Lightroom and Apple camp, you have your Apple TV.
Right.
You can download this app now from the TV app store, and what it'll do is it'll allow you to view your Lightroom libraries, your photos synced to the CC cloud,
right?
And through the Lightroom mobile. So this is really nice. See, this is the thing. So Adobe has always viewed Lightroom, and they've written about it as well, as not necessarily being geared for the professional, although almost all professionals use it. They look at it as the consumer level photo editing and management program.
Right.
So their intent is the hobby photographers and, pretty much any photographer that wants to take it to the next level is the appropriate candidate for Lightroom. So, this just adds more credence to that with this app, and it allows you to now show your vacation pictures that you just retouched and made all beautiful in Lightroom to your family members the next picnic you have,
We'll see.
So,
I want to see it allow me to do selections. That would be really cool to be able to have just simply an Apple TV in the studio, right in front of a couch, let's say, and allow people to do like this and make their selections from the nice leather couch. That would be kind of cool. I would like that.
That would be cool. Neat, yeah, absolutely. That would be cool. It's a great viewing experience at that point.
And especially now, everything is 4K TVs and an 8K, is right on the corner. So you'll be able to really see that, bleeding sharp images. So, anyways, moving on. Verizon. Now, this is kind of interesting. They're buying Flickr, right? Which is very important. And we talked about this months and months ago. We said, Yahoo feels like it's going belly up. And they started just breaking down the pieces of Yahoo and put it out in the market, kind of just open for people to purchase. They gave folks a deadline on when you had to put in your bids for all of our pieces of the puzzle and all of this stuff. And now I guess it's all what we talked about now months ago came to fruition. Verizon ended up jumping in on that bandwagon and grabbing some of their assets. And I don't know if it's an asset. Well, I guess we can discuss it. One of them is Flickr, right? That's what we were talking about. Now,
that's the big piece of the pie.
Well, you also have Tumblr,
Flickr.
right, Trev? And,
right.
And now I'm thinking Tumblr. What are you going to do with Tumblr? Flickr, maybe, right?
Yeah. Well, that's it. So Tumblr, that's the blogging platform that they've had for a long time. It has its usage. People still do use it. You find on websites a lot of share buttons so you can share it to Tumblr and stuff like that. So people are still using Tumblr, but it's few and far between. Yeah. I think the big acquisition here is Flickr. Flickr has, they're saying that they're going to pick up 1 billion monthly active users. That's huge. That's huge. And Flickr itself brings in 112 million users.
Yeah. I think this is an account play. I think they're just trying to bring that. Now, I guess to take that to the side a little bit, maybe they're trying to, use Flickr or create Flickr into maybe a competitor's type of product, right?
Well, yeah. Apple has their iCloud service where you can upload and sync your photos and everything like that from your phone. So it very well could be that, Verizon wants to put their own proprietary app out there that's, part of their their version of the Android operating system, or their version, something that you can download and install on your iPhone.
Yeah, like a cloud play, basically.
Like a cloud play,
All of your photos, they go up into the cloud, but instead of going into the cloud, into this, virtual space, it goes into Flickr. Once they get there, they can now monetize it and say, okay, certain accounts, the images taken can also be sold, let's say, to maybe news organizations. Maybe I'm a news reporter and I'm using my Samsung phone. I'm taking pictures. They're being automatically uploaded to Flickr. Now there's other, entities are watching these Flickr streams or these certain Flickr streams and now making purchases to, buy photos or lease photos or rent photos or whatever it is. So, I mean, there's definitely something to be said about that. Tumblr, I don't know. That sounds, kind of.
I think it's just kind of
maybe, maybe,
package.
Yahoo said, you know what, if we sell you, Flickr, you have to take Tumblr too. They're like, all right, we'll take Tumblr too. Just give it to me, whatever,
So Verizon will either kill Tumblr or will continue to maintain it as a product.
Right.
That's yet to be seen. They really didn't talk about that too much. But what's interesting here is, Verizon put in to buy, I guess, Flickr a long time ago. And back in 2000, Yahoo was valued at 140 billion. So in February 2008, the company rejected a 44.6 billion acquisition, and that was from Microsoft.
Right.
So now they're looking at a 4.8 billion.
Just think of that, guys. From 140 billion to 48 billion or 40 some billion to just under 5 billion. I mean, 140, 40 to 5. It's like, sometimes you need to know when to let go of the bowling ball and not hold the bowling ball as you jump off the cliff all the way down to the bottom. You need to let it go, and pop that parachute. A lot of people do that also with their stocks, and they have stocks for years and years and years. Like, I promise you, calculators are coming back, and this company, they're still making calculators and it's going to be retro. It's like, no, bro, let it go. That crap's over like so many years ago, but people hold on to stuff. They marry stocks or they marry companies. Sometimes you just need to let it go. And if they would have let it go, at 140 billion in comparison to even the 50 billion, that Microsoft wanted to get them. Now they're sitting at 5. It's just, it's horrible. But this is what happens. Yeah. And that doesn't, no one knows that, Apple might not be in the exact same strait one day, or Google will be in the exact same spot someday.
The way technology is changing and the way the electronics and technology industries are so volatile. I mean, things change all the time.
Right.
I mean, anything can happen at any time.
Yeah.
And, being in the tech space is always a gamble.
No, absolutely.
So, this is interesting. So this is in the works. It'll officially become a Verizon property in 2017.
Yep, that's it. So anyways, guys, we have more for you on the backside of the break. Hang in there. We'll be right back. The 3-in-1 photo reference tool featuring the revolutionary dual access color control is a versatile all-in-one color reference accessory designed to help photographer and videographer dial in white balance, exposure, and color temperature. The PRT features a large gray card with center target, making autofocus lockup easy while providing fast temperature neutralization in camera or in post-production. A 12-step exposure gradient helps produce perfect tonal reproduction, balancing highlights with deep, rich blacks. Most photographers color balance by eye, using the temperature slider to warm or cool an image. This method delivers inconsistent and inaccurate results. The backside of the PRT features our dual-access color control system, which addresses this problem. With a single click, this system will automatically adjust color temperature and apply color tint to produce optimal and repeatable results for beautiful photos every time. From in-camera to post-production, the 3-in-1 photo reference tool helps push your creativity to the next level, providing complete color control over all your imaging creations. Grab one from your local or online camera dealer or visit our website at jcristina.com.
All right, we are back. And Joe, I know you have been busy working on some video projects lately. And you kind of hinted about it on I think 2 shows ago, you said you were working on some reviews of some camera equipment and stuff that you got in from ATS Rentals over there. And why don't you, now it's ready for prime time, so why don't you tell everybody about it and what you did, and give us a little insight.
Yeah, so, I'm always trying to do some kind of reviews for you guys that will possibly help you out at what you do every day. So either it's photo or it's video or it's audio or whatever it is. And I rented in a couple of cameras. I rented in the Sony Alpha A6300 as well as the Canon 80D. And the idea here was not to use them as cameras, as just photo. Both 24 megapixels or thereabout. They all do a fantastic job. At this point, I mean, they're all great. One's mirrorless, one is, a DSLR, but I wanted to look at them more as a vlogging machine. How does it work for vlogging? Can this, either one of these be used as a vlogging camera that you can go and run and gun with? And that's what I did. I kind of tested these 2 cameras for about a week. And then I made a 3-part video on it. So it's 3 videos in a row that basically covered me internal to the studio. I did some work inside. Then I went outside. I did some other shooting outside, tested audio, whatnot, and then finally came back in and I did kind of a synopsis and a review on the product itself and how it fared, so to speak. And so it was a lot of fun.
And the reason you picked these 2 cameras, because they, if anybody is looking to do video for YouTubing or something, see, now YouTubing is one of these names, one of these terminologies. It's kind of like Googling something, but becoming a YouTuber is no longer some kid doing video game videos sitting in their bedroom. And now all of a sudden they're making $1 million a year. That's not what YouTubers are anymore. YouTubers are people with skills, professionals, people with knowledge, sharing information, or making entertainment. And some are profiting quite nicely from this. And if you do any type of research and you look at the hottest vlogging cameras, the hottest YouTubing cameras, some of the cameras that come up specifically are the A6300, the Sony, and the Canon 80D. And that really was your whole intent. You wanted to grab 2 of these really popular cameras and run them through their paces and see how they work. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we are YouTubers. I mean, we're self-creating video. We're posting it up on YouTube, aside from the fact that we're doing audio to the thousands and thousands of people on iTunes and through RSS. But, that is something that we have been working on for many years. And we've been looking at different technologies, different equipment to step up our game. Just recently we both switched over to using regular cameras as opposed to webcams. So this, I really like the idea of what you did, because there's a lot of people out there looking for this information and want to see real world results from people that are doing it. That they're doing it. They're not just talking about it. They're actually doing it. And that's what we're doing.
And, the most important thing when it comes to these cameras, or one of the most important things, is facial tracking. And we were talking about that just a minute ago on that new Sony, the A99, with this crazy number of
all the
AF spots all over it. But it's because of that, being able to take a look at the eyes, look at the nose, look at the mouth, and then follow it around is really mission critical. And a lot of the cameras, they just didn't do a good job at it. And then as, things have progressed, there's been a lot more to come out there. The top camera for vloggers was the 70D for quite some time. And now the 80D came out, of course. So I'm like, well, let me take a look at the 80D and see how it fares compared to that Sony Alpha 6300 and take a look at it. And what's funny too is I compared it also to this camera that I'm shooting right now with, and that is the Canon S120, the workhorse, the little guy, that weighs nothing. And I showed video on that also, as well as the audio. So it was very interesting for sure.
Yeah, and you've got the 2 types of work. You've got studio work, like what we do. We're in-house. We're in a controlled environment. We have lighting set up. We have high quality audio going. We're doing it, in a very, very controlled environment. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of vloggers who are out there, running and gunning on the street. They're holding it in their hand, or on a selfie stick. and they're walking around and they're filming themselves in the backgrounds and stuff like that. And as almost, I hate to say it, as almost as dopey as that sounds, that real world, real life kind of on the fly while it's happening type of approach is very compelling. And it really draws in the eyeballs. So, that's why this type of equipment is really important. And as we always say, video is only a small fraction of the experience. Audio is so important. And I know you did extensive testing with audio, both external sources and using internal mics and things like that.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I tried out the Audio Technica, which was very interesting as a lav mic. So it's a lapel. Right. I took a look at the Rode mic. I looked at the internals, how they were, a lot of different pieces of the puzzle, and the results were kind of interesting. What I thought was going to happen sometimes didn't happen, and some things that, I didn't think was going to happen, I was like, well, what the heck is that? So it was good. It was definitely good. And I think you guys will get a lot of information, I think, out of it. And if you are in the market for picking a new camera for doing video, it doesn't matter if it's vlog or if it's just video in general.
Sure.
Taking a look at these two cameras and the process that I went through, I'll go ahead and put a link here or down or up or somewhere where you guys can click on it and go look at the playlist. It's three videos in the series. Just watch them in order and you can see all of that work that was done and how it kind of came to pass. And then in the very final video, I give more of a synopsis on what I found and what I think between the two cameras, really unbiased look. I don't really, for me, like all of you guys know, for 20 years, I've been a Canon shooter, but honestly, I use everything, especially for my work.
You don't get paid for doing this. I mean,
no,
you're doing this.
I don't care who wins or what.
No. I mean, you're creating this content just simply to share your findings and because it's something you're interested in doing.
Yeah,
I mean, you love this crap. So do I. I mean, we love testing out equipment and trying new techniques, trying different things. I mean, that's why we're always, evolving what we're doing,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I watched the videos, really great stuff. I would definitely recommend you guys go check them out. It's great little bits of information.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man, we need to get out. What do you think?
Yes, I agree. So if our listeners and viewers want to connect with you outside of the show, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, you guys can get to me. The easiest way, I guess you could say, would be Twitter, and that's at Joseph Cristina. And once again, that's Cristina with no H.
Yes, and you can connect with me on Twitter. It's at Trevor Curran.
So everyone, we are out of here for yet another week. You can get all the notes from this episode by visiting digitalphotographycafe.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/dphotocafe. And we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.
You've been watching the Digital Photography Cafe show with Trevor Curran and Joseph Cristina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel with any compatible device by visiting youtube.com/dphotocafe. Be sure to subscribe to our audio feed through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Xbox Music apps or through RSS. Visit digitalphotographycafe.com for show notes and to connect with your hosts.